Hi guys, how's it going? It's Chris Graham here for We Love Betting, and it's another edition here of Stats Chart. Every Friday I'm going to take a look at the historical data, stats, for all the weekend games and see if there's any key trends that we can get involved with at big prices, at decent prices every week. I'm not looking at current form, that's not what this is all about. It's all about the historical data, stats and stuff like that. I'm not taking current form into this whatsoever, so it's just a cold look at statistics if you like. And I've picked 4 games here, all odds against. I'll only pick odds against shots. And I got 1 from League 1, 2 from League 2. First we'll start with the Premier League and Everton against Aston Villa. Aston Villa in the mire at the moment, in deep shit. And it's worrying times without any doubt for Paul Lambert's side. They're away to Everton tomorrow. Everton strong favourites, 2-5. Long ones on across the board. And you can imagine if you stop 10 people in the street, 20 people in the street and ask them who would win this game, most people would say Everton. But the stats don't say that. Well, what the stats say, to be honest, is that Aston Villa will be competitive in this game. That they will score a goal essentially, because they've scored against Everton the last 17 times they've played against them. Everton no clean sheets, 17 against Aston Villa. You have to go back to October the 25th, 2003. It was the last time Villa failed to notch against Everton. It was a 0-0 draw that particular day. Just some of the players, just to recap, who were playing that day. One, Pablo Angel for Aston Villa, Tobias Linderoth for Everton, remember him. Wayne Rooney was playing for Everton that day. And in the news that week, Ian Duncan-Smith resigned as Conservative leader, and Cheryl Tweedy, remember her? She was found guilty of assaulting a toilet attendant. Not a nice person, that's for sure. So that's just to give you an idea of what was happening almost 10 years ago. The last time Villa failed to score against Everton. I think they'll score at the weekend. The stats do as well, and Everton I expect to score as well. So let's get involved with both teams to score, shall we? 11-10 Ladbrokes go for both teams to score in this fixture. The stats say it will happen. In League 1, Crawley against Swindon. This is the most, this is really taking it to extreme levels in terms of stats, but let's just go with it. It's a bit of fun. But Crawley's last 6 games, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. They've beat Stevenage, they've lost to Sheffield United, they beat Portsmouth, they lost to Bournemouth, they beat Colchester, they lost to Tranmere. There's a trend here. If the trend continues, they will win this weekend at home to Swindon. They're 5-2 with BetVictor to do just that. I think that's a big price, to be quite honest. Crawley 5-2 at home against Swindon. If that wonderful win-lose trend continues. If it does, we're in the money at 5-2. Third game, AFC Wimbledon against Burton in League 2. Mark's tipped up AFC Wimbledon to win this game outright 7-4. They've only played each other 3 times, these sides. Of course, AFC Wimbledon quite new to the Football League, and their new guys, of course. And Burton Albion as well. I think they've only been kicking around for the last 3 years in the Football League. So they've only met 3 times. And each time they've met, there's been goals aplenty. Goals ahoy! Everywhere you look, there's been goals. The first game, AFC Wimbledon 2, Burton Albion 3. The second game, AFC Wimbledon 4, Burton Albion 0. And the last game, AFC Wimbledon 2, Burton Albion 6. Goals everywhere you look. 3 times they've played each other, 3 times it's went over 3.5. Let's do over 3.5 again. Let's see if it can happen again. 11-5 with Boyle Sports for over 3.5 in this fixture. Whenever these sides play, there's goals aplenty. Let's hope it happens again. 11-5 over 3.5. The final game, one I talked about last week, Bradford, of course. They're away to Fleetwood at the weekend. I've told you about Bradford's post Capital One Cup record. It's poor. Whenever the League 2 game directly after Capital One Cup games has been a somewhat unfruitful series for Bradford so far this season. 2 points from 18, played 6, 1-0, drawn 2, lost 4. They've lost to Gillingham, they've lost to Rotherham, 4-0 to Rotherham, they've lost to Oxford, and they've lost to Port Vale. So they've had a really poor run in the game directly after the Capital One Cup game. I know it's been 11 days since the game against Aston Villa, and in that respect the stat is diluted somewhat, but we just have to keep going with it. Keep everyone to stick with it, and you can back Fleetwood, who are higher up the table than them, and they're at home at 8-5 with Sky Bet and Stan James. I think there's a bit of value in that. So to recap, what the stats suggest this week: both teams to score, Everton and Aston Villa at 11-10 with Ladbrokes. Crawley to beat Swindon at 5-2 with Bet Victor. AFC Wimbledon and Spartan over 3.5 goals, 11-5 with Boyle Sports, and Fleetwood to beat Bradford at 8-5 with Sky Bet and Stan James. And that's this week's Stats Chat.